You're right, guys. Welcome to the latest episode of Muscle Owl Talks. I'm here with Michaela for the first time in a while. First time.
These are lines have been playing me up, but I'm back for now.
She's back. She's back with a vengeance. Better than ever before.
I'm a revenger right now.
Well, yeah. In fact, back for quite an interesting topic. Fast track. Hashtag fast track.
I like it.
Track.
I can only do one half of it, but I'll do it anyway.
I'll do the other half. Hashtag fast track. That's where it's at. So fast track treatments, it was a big petition and campaign that Muscular Dystrophy UK have been putting up, along with other charities and support from lots of other different communities as well, to try and get drugs approved, or is getting them having some kind of approval faster, because time matters, particularly with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is one of the big drugs that we're talking about at the moment. So Michaela, there's news that came out this week that the government, the UK government, the British government, have decided to create, it's called an accelerated access pathway. An accelerated access pathway. So
that's really hard for me to say, but it's true.
I've been reading through it all, and it's quite complicated. But the main thing that I would say here is I still think we're lacking real substance to know what happens, when it happens, and more than anything, how it happens. And, which basically it's saying that breakthrough drugs will now get a different approval process, hopefully a faster approval process. But what constitutes a breakthrough drug? And do we just have now kind of another set of events in a very similar circumstance? So I don't know. Michaela, you were much more optimistic than I was initially on this. And what do you think of it all?
Yeah, I think we're on the right track.
The fast track.
And I think I'm looking at the likes of Spinraza now. We have all the European approval sorted, but there's yet to be from my understanding, yet to be a formal process started even to get Spinraza on the road to approval on the NHS. There are obviously some people receiving it under the early access scheme from pharmaceutical companies who make the drug. But we're still left in a situation where I can't access it, and many others can't because they just don't meet the criteria. And the NHS can only take so many at the moment because of the intensive way it's administered. It's one of many drugs in the pipeline for SMA, but it's absolutely the one that will buy time, and in those getting it young enough, actually treats them extremely well in their some are actually able to walk. So we're on the right track with the drug, but the problem is we don't have any sort of approval from the NHS. There's no funding source to do the number functions. There's no funding source to do guided CT scanning if we need to do it. All these things that tie into receiving the drug aren't available in the way that they maybe should be. So it's causing problems even with the early access scheme that we've got kind of set up. So, I look at that and then I think of something like fast track stepping in. So we know that there's a breakthrough drug. Now, my definition says it's something like Spinraza or the drug from Avestis called ABSS 101. If it gets through all the clinical trials successfully, to me, they would be breakthrough drugs for SMA. We have fast track sweeping in and going, okay, these drugs offer real hope and are a real investment to save a lot of money for the NHS and save a lot of stress and ill health for the individuals with the condition. Let's get this through as fast as we can. Yeah. And I've heard a figure thrown about that it could shorten the process by up to 5 years. So, that's a figure I heard floating around, and you sort of don't know how credible that is, but certainly...
we don't know if it's credible, but it's certainly incredible.
It's incredible. I mean, if that's the case, it is. It's a major milestone to bear in mind in the space of just a few short weeks. Someone with SMA.
How? And I guess an outsider would say as well, why don't they just simply change the process instead of implementing a side process for fast track?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if you, let's take something really common like high blood pressure. and there's a new drug in the pipeline. But there's all these other drugs that actually work really well right now, and this new drug might only add an extra benefit to a few people. We don't really need a huge fast track process for that. But I can't help but relate to the whole antibiotic-resistant bacteria fight. If we have an antibiotic that kills resistant bacteria, we need it through now. We can't wait 10, 15, 20 years for that to be made available. And there are 2 or 3 that are looking promising right now in order to fight resistant bacteria. Colistin is one of our last resort antibiotics, and it's unfortunately starting to lose its effectiveness in some cases, and I'm probably partly at fault for that because I need to use it occasionally to treat my lungs. So we're in an era where those sorts of things can kill the whole world, in my view. It could wipe us out to extinction.
So we need a fast track process for that.
We need a fast track.
But in
at
fact,
the same time,
if I just say, with that in mind, if we compare those kind of, a drug, if everyone's going to die of a bacteria and we need a drug right away, then obviously, breakthrough drug, fast track. What about when we're talking about drugs like the ones you've mentioned for muscular dystrophies, or, in particular spinal muscular atrophy or Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is slightly different in the way that that's kind of seen as to how well it works and to whom it could work for. But, if we're talking about orphan drugs in particular, how do we ascertain breakthrough there? And will orphan drugs, or people who are looking or who have kind of rare diseases, are they going to find it harder or easier to be a breakthrough drug?
I mean, I would certainly hope it would be easier for us. When I think of SMA and I think of Duchenne, and they're both time limited. Someone with SMA type 1 may only have a few short weeks. They may get a few months. Average life expectancy is around 2 that doctors would give to a parent with a newly diagnosed child. So time really ticks there. And Spinraza, as effective as it is, does not work for everybody. And it's really important that we can get drugs out to these children really fast. But at the same time, there are adults who are in advanced stages who also need the drugs really quickly because they're at the end. So you're talking really about the same thing. You're talking about death from biological things going haywire, and you really need that help. You need that help to be able to live a healthy, productive life. We're not just talking about potential cures here. And I say cure in the sense that you're able to walk, or whatever you want to call it. I'm thinking about quality of life. To be able to sit, for me to be able to Spinraza and not get a chest infection for 2 years is a huge, huge production boost in terms of what I'm able to do, my stamina. And for other people, actually, it might mean that they're able to work full time. I don't know what it's going to mean for me because I haven't had it, and I won't know until I've had it. But that's a big benefit to the economy. And we want to get those choice 3s pronto. And I think that's the right way to do it. Have a separate assessment process so we can really focus on the drugs that are going to make a big difference to people's lives.
Yeah.
And help out the NHS budget as well.
I think that obviously that's talking about things like drugs for SMA with Spinraza and AVXS, which are looking very, very promising. When we flip the other side of the coin and look at drugs for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which there's lots and lots of lobbying for, but maybe the results aren't there, maybe for one reason or another, or many different reasons. What's the way forward for that? Is there still hope that these could meet breakthrough standards? And I guess one of the reasons why we've been seeing the troubles we've been seeing is, in my view, we could potentially say it's not all down to a slow process. In my view, we could say with drugs for Duchenne muscular dystrophy here and in the States and elsewhere, we could say that it's because the results aren't the results that the legislators want. And so it's about comparing results that legislators feel aren't quite good enough with high cost. And what I think a lot of people would say is, how does a fast track process how does that get around to the problem that we still have, that drugs cost so much and we don't know if we have enough evidence for them?
I think I've got this saying that medicine is not an exact science, and it goes against everything every human believes in, but science is all interpretation, medicine is all interpretation. The numbers might be there, but you've got to interpret them. And
that is all interpretation.
It's all interpretation. So, even if you're looking at a simple colon infection, it's still interpretation. You've got to play around with things, see what works for people. So we can have a first generation, say, of Translarna, and its effectiveness is maybe debatable a little bit. But the second generation might be a little bit better, and the third generation might be a little bit better than that. The only way we're going to get these drugs into a patient population that is sizable enough to really monitor the results is to fund them through our health programs. So whether you're in the United States and you need to fund it through health insurance, or whether you're in the UK and it's through the NHS, or it's through whatever system your country has, that's the best way to get it out to a mass patient population. And I'm speaking very medically, and I'm where I'm doing that, but that's what the legislators want. We obviously want our kids to work for longer, our kids to be healthier. For someone maybe with type 1 SMA, they want their child to be able to talk. Those are the things that are important to us as families and us as patients. But to the people in power, they need to know that this money is well spent. And that's a really difficult decision when you've got taxpayers' money in your hand. At the end of the day, I'm always forever thankful for taxpayers because they've kept me alive to a degree, so I owe debt of gratitude.
Taxpayers.
Your own taxpayers, but I think we're looking at that is a part of the big dilemma. You need to weigh all of that up, but at the end of the day, if we really want to know if a drug works, we need to approve it. For like a managed access program that we see for Translarna, monitor the effects and then say at the end of it, okay, this works, or no, this really isn't working, it's not cost effective. And we all make those decisions every day. It's just on a much grander scale. I don't believe you can put a cost on a life, but I can certainly empathize with that partial between cost and health.
Absolutely. I think there is still that duality there. So it's the fast track is great because we need to have a system where drugs can get to market as quickly as possible, but also at the same time we need to push we need to push the whole idea that giving drugs a try, and in order to get them through the fast track thing and find out if they work properly.
Yeah, I think the government have made a smart move. I think we're on the right track. Do we need clarification? Yeah, we do. But I think charities like Muscular UK are willing to work with the government on things like this because at the end of the day we have the same goal. Maybe for different reasons, but we do have the same goal at the end of it. I think it's a prime example actually of where patients, charities and government can work together to find a really good solution to make sure that drugs like Exondys or IVSS 101 can get through a pathway nice and quickly so we can get it into patients and we don't need to worry. There's a lot to be said for that. And this doesn't just apply to us. I've got a lot of friends with a group of conditions called mucopolysaccharides, and I know it's something that will affect them. We're in an era where genetics, all of a sudden, genetic manipulation, if you want to call it that, is a feasible reality. We're in the kind of later stages of really proving it's safe and effective. The safety is pretty much there. The effectiveness is our next thing. And if we get IVSS 101 through, we're looking at a whole new era in genetic medicine because it is a really a huge breakthrough with extremely promising results. Obviously, we're in the early days, but we're looking at something that I think really changes the whole landscape of genomic medicine. So I like to think that we have something like fast track in place by the time that comes around so that when it's available, we can get it through nice and quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Fantastic episode. And well, we'll be keeping everyone updated and keeping ourselves updated on how everything happens with the fast track process in the UK. And yeah, here's for hoping that we get some clarification on it soon and that we can start to see more drugs being given a chance. So yeah, wonderful.
More drugs for us.
Sorry?
More drugs for us.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good one, sir.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in a bit.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye.